Okay, let's take a look at these. I'm going to open with Google Chrome, I guess. Height in centimeters, weight in kilos for surface area. I think I remember this one. So let me open with Notepad also. Okay, yeah, this formula. Now what you need to do is you need to use your conversion library here. So on this one, so I think height is supposed to be in inches. So let me do a file new, and I'm going to do a new one. Let me open up this one. Open with Notepad. Okay, let's tackle this one first, then I'll go back to the other one. This one looks easier. Function classify number, you got your beginning, you got closing down here. Okay, I'm going to put some spaces here to make it a little easier to see. That way I know what goes with what. Two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Num equals parse float document dot get element by ID num box. So you get the number there. If number is less than 0, alert your number is a negative. If number is equal to 0, now I'm not sure if this will work. We'll come back to that though. And number is a positive. Okay, let me save that. Right click on that and open with Google Chrome. Put 3 in here, click that, classify the number, and it's not working. Okay. I expect it's because this equals here. Oftentimes those are 2 equals. Now I'm not sure about JavaScript. All languages start running together for me after a while. 3, the number's positive. Negative 2, number's negative. 0. I get my mouse to work. There we go. Number 0. Okay, so that's what was wrong with that one. Equals equals. There's, I think, one programming language where an equals actually does work, but every other one you have to do something different. The equals in programming is an assignment, so it's like you're assigning a value. Okay. Now why it didn't work anyway, I don't know, because even if you're assigning value, this should always be true, so no matter what, it should give you this alert. But obviously I don't understand exactly how the Boolean works in JavaScript. Other programming languages would do that to you. It'd drive you crazy trying to find out why it's always doing this no matter what. Okay. That's that one. Now let me save it. This will give you the idea. I don't remember the exact value, so I can't give you the exact idea. But I'll save a convert.js. Now this will contain our functions. And I want to convert, actually I do know one of them, to convert from integers to inches to centimeters. Inch to centimeters. Now I'm going to be passing in a parameter here, and I'll call it inch. And I'll have a variable called centimeter. And then I'll say centimeters is equal to, see, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So I'll take my inch times 2.54. And then I'm going to return centimeter. And then my closing bracket. Now I can also have a function, centimeter to inch, where I'm passing in centimeter. This time I'll have a variable, inch. And I'll say inches is equal to centimeters divided by 2.54. And then I want to return centimeters. Okay, let me save that. Come over here, let me open that. Maybe I already got it open. Yeah, I do. So then, you bring in your height and your weight. So you'd have an additional script here. Script type equals text JavaScript. And I think it's source equals convert.js. If this doesn't work, I'll have to go look it up. And then my closing script. So then this down here, after I bring in height, for example, let's say I need to put it into centimeters. This is height in inches. So then I'll have a new variable. I call it var height underscore centimeters. So then I'll say height centimeters is equal to, and I want to call this function over here. Convert the inches to centimeters. So this is the function I want to call. And I'm going to pass in my height, which will be in inches. Now when it returns a value, it'll set it equal to the height in centimeters here. So then this will be a height in centimeters. Now the formula requires us to do a math square root, if I remember right. So you do math.square root, and double check this in the book. I may not have remembered that correctly. And then you have to put parentheses around these to make sure it does that first. Now it should anyway with the order of operations, so that's kind of optional. Then closing parentheses here. Now this is going to, your weight is, it says in kilos, but I think the problem asks us to bring it in pounds. And then, so you'll need to create a new library, a new function over here. So you add on to this, where you're going to convert from pounds to kilos or whatever it was. And then you'll do the same thing as what I did with centimeters. And then I believe the answer you get off of that, you even need to do a conversion. And the book gives you those, what those conversions are, I believe. Now to write it out. Document.getElement by ID. I'll put div, and this is to your original question. How do you write it out? Enter HTML. And you got output div here. Now, okay. Let me see which one this is. 11.5? What's 11.5 say? Modify your surface so that it ensures both are anybody positive values. Okay, so once you do some error checking. Now you'll have to make those corrections like I referred to. But up when you run this, we bring in height and weight, and what's it say? Ensures that both height and weight values entered are positive values. Okay. So after we get these in here, you want to check. You'd say if height is less than or equal to 0, then you want to give some kind of alert. So you'd say alert, height must be positive. Height must be positive. And then do a closing curly bracket. And then else, if height or weight is less than or equal to 0, then we'll do a curly bracket, and we'll say alert, the weight must be positive. And then if both of those are surpassed, that means that they entered it correctly. So in my else, this is where I can put my main code. Like this. And get rid of those. Now this right here will be our closing curly bracket for the else. And I also need one more closing curly bracket for the surface area. This is why it's nice to have spaces in here. So you can see things, how things line up. Where in the world's my mouse? Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think that should be good enough. Let's save this and see. So file, save. Okay, so I'll open with Google Chrome. Wait 5 to... Okay. Now let me put in negative 5. Click that. It says height must be positive and doesn't calculate it. Well, if I refreshed it. If I put in negative 5 and then put in 2, if I click that, it says height must be positive, then doesn't display the result. If that one's okay, I put negative 3 in here. It says weight must be positive, and again doesn't do the result. But then if I put 3 in, it'll give us the answer. So this gives you the basic framework. You do need to, like I say, do the conversion, because the original problem required these to be converted before it's plugged into the most stellar formula. But that'll give you an idea.